Ye Uruna, Umugoko Igbere Uruna. Uruna nene Umugoko Igbere Uruna. 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 Ekwo nenu Umugoko Igbere Uruna. Aridori nenu Umugoko Igbere Uruna.
Hello, Urhobo. Welcome to another episode of Urhobocast, this time at urhobo.uk with Onos Shanoms. After the last episode, Urhobocast got in collaboration with urhobo.uk, who are actually financing this podcast today. Urhobo.uk is an Urhobo website also created for the same purpose and reason as Urhobocast, and that is to inform and to propagate things regarding the Urhobos in the UK and in diaspora as a whole. Urhobo.uk was created by Chief Nyerhovwo Ugwhujabo. On a certain day he gave me a call, and the question was that, Onos, why don't we collaborate? And my answer was, why not? So there you go, Urhobocast and Urhobo.uk. So coming to today's podcast, it is again a reaction to this second Urhobo General Meeting that was held at the Olsen Hall, New Cross, on the 22nd of May 2016. Again, organized by the Urhobo Leadership Forum, a joint committee of the Council of Urhobo Chiefs and the various Urhobo clan heads, under the leadership of Chief Philip Emagbetere. Joining me in today's discussion are sons and daughter of Urhobo once again, although we've got a new guest today, somebody who I've not featured before. And so here you go. Miss Mejero Uwejeya, Mr. Sylvester Efole, Mr. Oyeye, and Chief Nyerhovwo Ugwhujabo. So, gentlemen and lady, you are welcome to Urhobocast.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, everyone. Hello.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you very much, Onos.
Yes. Did I hear anything from Aloy?
Yes, I said thank you very much.
Okay.
Onos.
Okay. Thank you. Now, Urhobo General Meeting was held yesterday, 22nd May 2016. We were all present there. I want our immediate thoughts, our immediate reaction to that particular meeting. I would like to go with Mr. Aloy Oyeye first.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I attended the first meeting and attended this particular meeting, which is the last meeting. And I thought compare this particular meeting to the previous one, I think this one is more assertive and more robust in the way decisions were made. And at the same time, the attendance was really encouraging compared to the last meetings. And I believe what I took from this particular meeting is that the Urhobos actually have decided to be very assertive. And I believe this assertiveness manifested in the way the decisions were made yesterday. And there is this drive to actually move the process forward, the process of what some would call arbitration or reconciliation. But I believe that whatever way you want to call it, the meeting was very assertive and the outcome of the meeting was clearly very satisfactory to me.
Thank you very much, Aloy. Chief, you want to respond to that?
I do, and thank you, Onos, for this Urhobocast, which I think is an excellent service for the Urhobo community in the UK. I completely agree with the points that Aloy has made. What I will add is this. At this very junction, at this very time in Urhobo history in the United Kingdom, it's not just that we have been assertive and robust, but that being assertive and robust was necessary It is necessary because the way and manner this dispute has been going on since 2012 has been such that there didn't seem to be any credible force within the community, one, to galvanize the views of the community, and secondly, to represent those views in a way that can move the community forward. So at this meeting, for the first time, the community really stood firm. And I think it was also important because they were standing firm in the face of very, very serious challenge. So the meeting was very challenging, but those who were in favor of unity and in favor of progressing this matter with the urgency that it deserves, those people held sway on the day. And I think that's very important for the community. And when you think about the number of people that were there, quite a large number of women, quite a large number of men, and quite a large number of young people, what you can smell in the air is that there is a desire, a hunger for oneness in the Urhobo community, and a kind of oneness that can actually drive this community forward. It seems like we have stalled over the years. We have not made any progress. We have actually misused the efforts and the financial commitments of the people in the community. And this was that first time where people were beginning to say, we need to move in a different direction. We need to address this problem once and for all and empower the community to have a strong voice so that in future, the way they relate to those who lead them will be more of a credible relationship, will be more of an equal relationship. And as I said during that meeting, we were there at that very meeting as Urhobo people, united with one voice to say, this is what we want. And once the people have spoken, as far as I'm concerned, we have to move in the direction that they have spoken. And like I was also saying to those people who were there, who were opposing the direction of travel, you do have to understand in a democratic system, and the Urhobo community is essentially a democratic community, that once the majority have decided, it is for all of us to put aside our grievances, put aside our concerns, and to follow and support what the majority of the people have decided. And that's what I hope will happen moving forward.
Thank you very much, Nyerhovwo. Sylvester, I will come to you, but let's hear from Ms. Uwejeya. Mejero.
So I want to agree with the points that were made by Efole and Nyerhovwo. It was a very interesting meeting yesterday. Having attended the last one and the one today, what I took away from that was finally the people have spoken, their voices have been heard, and a decision's been made. And we're now going to collectively move forward on this decision. It was done in an open and transparent way, so there was no, everybody was there and everybody participated in the voting. So it was a very good meeting.
Thank you very much, Mejero. Bro Sylvester, let's go with you now. I hope you're not. I hope there's not going to be a departure, but let's listen.
I'll tell you something, man. As I said yesterday, and I'll say it again, I think quite a lot of us, not the whole community, quite a lot of us, we suffer from intellectual discourse most of the time. We find it difficult to apply our mind to intellectual conversations. And this is with all respect to everybody, and that's myself inclusive. But on this particular occasion, what I took away from there is that once again we had the ternary, or the itinerary, whatever you want to call it, of the majority, which to me is equally as bad as that of the minority. I'll tell you what, you want to travel from point A to point B or to point Z, right? You get to point C and then you do a diversion. I've asked this question previously and I'll ask it again. When we do follow what is being suggested and passed say, and we go and do elections, and Chief Ganiga carries on, does his own elections, how many UPUs will we have in UK? I don't need my daughter to tell me. I know I'm a child accountant. I don't need to tell me. So obviously we're going to have two. And I ask myself, so all this jamboree, all these coming to talk, all this taking me away from watching England versus Turkey and taking other people from going to work, taking them from going to parties, going with their kids, seeing them and just having fun at home. What really have we achieved? Zilch. Absolute zilch. And that is my concern with our community. We never seem to learn. We never, ever seem to learn. It reminds me, 2008, essentially a similar thing happened. Our portfolio will not contest under any circumstances at all against Agogozia. He broke away and he formed the Council of Elders or whatever. I don't know if he formed or whatever. They came together, very few people. Agogozia was put to one side. Also, it was thought. For 3 years, Agogozia was the recognized president. You are portfolio welcome. Okay? And we said, yes, let's carry on. We have won. People said they have won. Have they won now? That has given birth to what we are still having today. That was 2008. If people were thinking intellectually 2008, they would have seen ahead that come 2016, this is where we would be with two UPUs. And if we're not careful, 2019, two UPUs. I rest my case for now. Thanks.
I will be glad to respond to Sylvester.
Go on, Chief.
So there are a few things that have been put forward. One is that there is an intellectual deficit in the community. To some extent, that is true. But
I inclusively.
Yes, but I don't believe that applies on this occasion. I think the people went through a reasoned approach to try to understand the situation, and they have responded the way they want to. If you disagree with their response, then you should put forward what your intellectual argument for that is.
Thank you very much. And
so moving forward as well, let me then demystify some of the misconceptions that you put forward. One of them is the tyranny of the majority. I don't believe there is a tyranny of majority here at all. In fact, the majority of people since 2012 have taken different steps to try to address this issue. But one faction have consistently refused to engage. That is the tyranny of the minority. It's not the tyranny of the majority. So the majority, in the end, have been forced to take a decision. Yes? Even at the previous meeting, they were still making ovations to enable people to come to the same table. And you will recognize that we are talking about a situation where there are two factions. And this union, the motto of this union is unity is strength. So when people propose unity in a union of this nature, everybody should embrace that. But unfortunately, some people have not only not responded to the requests that have been made of them, they have failed completely to engage at any point. And that to me is a disaster and it's a failure of leadership. Let me just land. And it's a failure of leadership. Because those who lead in a community must commit themselves to progress. If they fail to do that, they have failed the community that they wish to lead. The second point is that we must be very careful comparing this current situation, this impasse, to the situation with Akpokure. The two narratives are not the same.
They are quite
different.
They
are not the same.
The
community on this occasion have been very, very patient. And they have actually said that they will respect the tenures of the two factional leaders currently. They will wait. They will wait till their tenures are over. And our engagement as a community is about post the tenure of the two individuals so that nobody is disenfranchised. Nobody is disenfranchised. So this argument is essentially about who should conduct the election for the union. And as far as I am concerned, everybody can justify that they are the right UPU or the wrong UPU or this one. It's of no consequence. If you have the mind of peace, you know that when you have a dispute between two parties, it is a
resolved.
third party that can resolve that issue. Yeah. And that is why the proposal for an independent electoral committee is absolutely essential. And last point on this, the last point is this. We will not have two UPUs after this situation. The reason we will not have two UPU is that the kingdom heads across the Urhobo community are gathered and are speaking, quite frankly, with one voice. It does not matter whether one or two are taking a different view. On the whole, they are speaking with one voice. So what happens post the election is that the Urhobo community in the United Kingdom will stand behind whoever they elect to lead this community. And that is different from the Efole situation, is different from the Angus and Ganiga situation. We will have a new leadership for this community, and I think we will move forward and progress much more.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Aloy, please. Yeah. Let Aloy come in, please.
Because the position Sylvester just narrated, I totally disagree with that position. It's not because of the fact that I am impatient person, or because of the fact that we want to do things the way we want to do things. The truth of the matter is that the community have exercised a lot of patience. And whenever we talk about peace or you want to talk about reconciliation, you must come with equity. The body languages and the messages the Ganiga fashion is sending is not that of engagement. Is that of insolence to the community.
Or Jeffia.
The narrative that Sylvester is trying to propose is that of is not sustainable anymore in the community. That is why I said initially that the community has actually, for the very first time, has really accepted themselves and made a robust decision. And because of this assertiveness, for the very first time, it throws the Ganiga camp into okay. They need to now start reacting to what the community is doing. And so when they start reacting, they will know that there is a reality, because whatever they want to do is they want to torpedo whatever patience the community has. And by creating an electoral committee, when the community has actually waited for the duration of their tenures. Now, if they are negotiating in good faith, or they actually want the unity of Urhobo, what they should have done is to wait for the community to come out with their decisions before they start making decisions as if the community does not matter. And it's really difficult. The question I want to ask Sylvester now is, at what point do you say enough is enough? That was the first.
So can I come back in now, because this is like 15 minutes and you guys have been talking.
I thought Sylvester, just the last one. At what point do you say the decision needs to make decision? Do you think the committee will just be calling people for a talk show? No, we are not engaging in
Let's get a reaction from Sylvester.
Thank you very much. All your words said, I appreciate it. But I came into this with my eyes wide open, and I stick very, very strongly to my stance. And I will say this to you: not one of three of you have said to me that at the end of this process, as you agreed yesterday, that we will end up one UPU. When this process that you guys said we should follow it, then I'm going to follow it. That's why I came, right? When he concludes, I will be asking 1, 2, 3, 4 of you whether we have one UPU now or we have two. Okay. And I tell you something, that's why I absolutely hate to do things by the half. What we have done yesterday is we have rushed the process in my mind. What was the report we got? And I tell you what, we have been told that what we hear outside, we should keep outside. So I leave what I know outside and just focus on what we discussed yesterday. We have said we should carry on and electoral committee on. They'll come up with timetable. Of course, we cannot stop Ganiga, let him get on. And before too long, we know we have two. But I say this. from what we were told yesterday, Ganiga has said he can't play ball just now because he's spoken to his ESCO state judge that he would take the matter to his meeting. And somebody then says to me that they had the meeting and the result was that it wasn't even discussed there. But I have found out that their meeting is June 4th. So at which meeting did they, because Ganiga has been in Nigeria, he only got back, I'm told. So when did they have that UPU meeting that they discussed it? That's what I said to us, and I'm saying it again, we need to be rigorous, very rigorous, because what I see will happen in the future is, in the very near future is this. There will be this TUPU. Nobody, none of you here can doubt it. There will be this TUPU, and they will be calling for reconciliation. And that mirrors to me 2005, 2008, 2012, and going forward to 2019. And I'm saying to myself, can we not see this? If you put it up yesterday and try to make a point, of course, the majority screamed them down. Oh, if we run now, if we vote now, vote on what?
Okay.
Sorry, let me
vote on what?
Okay, gentlemen.
You're telling me 4 of you now, 3 of you are telling me that we will not end up with 2 UPUs. And I know we're going to end up with 2 UPUs. Hold on, Allah, let me finish. So what has been the essence of this? Because I hear we've been at 2012. It's true. I have even longer than that. Sexual of Urhobo Senior Citizen. I know how far we've been. Some of you in this panel know how far we have been working on this. Okay? Well, I dare say, I just want to add this, I dare say, ask yourself if we have actually concluded all avenues to have this conversation with the other side. Let's forget Ganiga angle.
Okay.
We've actually had that final conversation with them, and they said no forever. In that instance, I will tell you this very clearly. Let me just put it down. I will tell you this very clearly. In that instance, we should know that it's now guaranteed we have to be going forward.
Okay.
But until we cross that point, can I say, when you guys are talking, I didn't interrupt.
Yeah.
Until I'm coming, so I'll hang it.
Okay.
Until we reach that point where we have rigorously concluded with the Ganiga's side, and they have said they have spoken to their house, and the house also supports the view of the ESCO that they have nothing to do with us. They would say we have tried our best, we've concluded, we've finished the process, and we have come to accept that it will be 2 UPUs. That's
okay. Okay. Let me just come in here. Or Mejero, you wanted to say something? Go on.
So I just wanted to say, just for the people that are listening to this, I think we've jumped ahead in the conversation, and maybe we want to tell people what we're talking about, if that makes sense, how we reached the decision, what was the decision that was made, because we can hear bits and pieces coming through, but unless you were there, you wouldn't be necessarily following this conversation very well. So it'd be useful just for a recap. Or
I agree with you, Major. That was where I wanted to come in. Yesterday, what actually transpired was that a message was sent to the other faction, headed by Ganiga, Chief Ganiga. And when they met with Chief Ganiga, they told him that they have been sent to them for them to bring people from their side and then people from Agosi's side to form a committee that will move Urhobo forward. That we conduct an election that will be acceptable to the generality of Urhobo. The response that they got from Ganiga was that Ganiga was going to discuss with his executive. And then they gave him the time, and then they went back to him. And then he now said to them that his executive has refused to go along with such advice. He now said that although Chief Ganiga now said, well, there's another avenue open for this to be resolved, which is his house. That is the entire house of his faction. That is going at a general meeting that is going to put this before them, and then after they discuss, then they will come back to Urhobo with their decision. Now, we all heard, and then a question was posed to one of those that was actually asked to pass those messages on to Ganiga's fashion. There was a question that was asked to Mr. Rivier that what time did Ganiga say that particular message is going to come back to Urhobo? Then Mr. Sammy Rivier answered by saying that he did not ask. Okay?
Exactly.
Now.
Exactly. Now, he did not ask.
He did not ask those questions. Yeah. Now, what I want you people to understand here tonight is that Ganiga has been aware of this particular issue that both sides should bring people to form an electoral committee to move Urhobo forward. The reason why I said that is during the reception held for the President General of the UPU worldwide, Engineer Joe Omene, he said it on 2 occasions.
Thank you very much.
That the solution to this problem is Oboneri Yori. This side brings some people, this side brings some people. Let's merge and have one election. That was what he said in Ganiga's presence.
Exactly.
That was 2 months. That was 3 months ago or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the same Urhobo people now brought the same thing to Ganiga, and it was then that Ganiga decided to react to it. Is that correct? Do you think that is correct? I don't believe that.
I don't think Sylvester should answer. I think other people should have an opportunity
to talk.
You guys
I know.
Will answer, and I know. And I should have the opportunity to answer too. But you guys carry on.
No, everyone will have a take. Everyone will have a take. Now, what I'm trying to point out here is this: the Ganiga faction is not oblivious of the fact or of the process that has been on in Urhobo. They knew all this while what has been going on, because they hear every single information. Okay? So for him to, at this stage, after inaugurating an electoral committee in his fashion, that is when he wants to then take something that would disrupt that particular process that they have put in place into their general house. It becomes a child's play. It becomes like...
Can we respond?
Yes. Yes. Let's go.
Can I just?
Can we respond?
I really want to.
You guys
respond to
guys
Sylvester. Can I just respond to one narrative that Sylvester is trying to postulate? That the Urhobo community yesterday decided to move a step ahead does not mean they have abandoned negotiating with
or
speaking with Ganiga.
Oh my gosh!
It doesn't actually.
Oh my gosh!
It's still in line to what the President General has said. It's still in line. We have said to them that we are going to move on, irrespective of what you people do, but we will follow the process. I will be patient with you. Your tenure finishes. Bring your electoral committee member. We will bring out. Then we will conduct the election in a peaceful and brotherly manner. That is fair enough. The decision that we made yesterday did not torpedo the negotiation or the arbitration process in any form whatsoever. Unless Sylvester has a contrary opinion to say the decision that we made yesterday is contrary or torpedoed whatever Ganiga is planning.
Yeah, please carry on. I'm listening.
So the point that Aloy made is a critical point because there is a mistake being made in the story that Sylvester is providing us.
No, I know better than that. You and I started together yesterday, so don't even go there. Don't go there.
As Onos has narrated, nobody is unaware
of what is going on
in the Urhobo community.
Yes.
Everybody is aware.
Yes.
And because as I said at the meeting, one of the requests that committee of Council of Chiefs and Kingdom Heads made of the two factions is that they should respect Urhobo. Yeah? And as you are aware, numerous delegations were sent to both sides. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, quite a lot of times. And what is utterly disrespectful is that despite the processes on the way to ensure that Urhobo is united as one faction still chose to announce a date for a factional election and announce an electoral committee. That is what is disrespectful to the community. It is not what the community has done. In actual fact, it is for that faction to stay their action. It is not for the community to wait for a final conversation. Yes? It is for that faction to have held back and waited to see how the discussion goes before announcing their election. And I think that very act of disrespect is what annoyed a lot of people in the community and why they faced down some members of the electoral committee within that meeting. What I would say to add to Alois as well, and I said this at the meeting, so I'm not a stranger to this kind of conversation, because truly from my heart, my wish is that Urhobo is united. And I made the point yesterday that this decision that has been made yesterday cannot be the end of the process. No. It is only the beginning of the process. And at any stage, all factions still have the opportunity to come on board and join with the Urhobo people to participate in an independent election. We are talking about election, and nobody should be afraid of election. Let the people decide in a free and fair way. If you have two factions and one side is allowed to manage the process of election, that is tantamount to rigging even before the election happens. Let the community decide. In actual fact, it is the Urhobo people that anybody looking to that position, it is the Urhobo people that they want to lead. So why would we be afraid to face the same people we want to lead, to enable them to cast their vote and elect their leaders? It is an outrage.
Can I come in now?
It's an outrage.
Can I come in now?
Outrage for one faction to say to the community, "You come to us."
Yes. Let's not go there. Let's hear from Sylvester again.
Nyerhovwo, Ugwhujabo. Hear me out. Passion, emotion, Churchill will not get us anywhere. We have been told, right, that this person says he wants to go take this matter to his people. I ask, is it well within his right? Is it well, hang on, sir. Well within his right to request it? You are in mediation. You are trying to settle two sides. This story, I need to go speak to my village about it.
No, Sylvester,
but his people already know. They already are aware.
Excuse me, it's my turn to speak.
Chief, let him finish. Let him finish. Chief, let Sylvester finish, please.
When I finish, correct me. Okay? You know my stance on this matter. And I have, from time around, you know my stance on this matter. It's not because it's Ghana, it could be a Dekota United we're talking about. It means nothing to me. All I'm saying, I'm a practical person. And experience tells me to be practical. So that in my mind, I can foresee a result. The result I see here, and I just want to use the analogy. You are setting a rainy and a wood, right? And then the Erin here says, I need to take this matter to my village meeting. Let them give me instructions. And you are saying, well, we carry on anyway. When we are taking the instructions, then come back to us. Is that reconciliation?
Sylvester, you were corrected at that meeting. You raised this very point at the meeting. And
what was the correction?
The report that you are giving is incorrect. That's not the report given by the delegate who went to visit Ghana.
So the report says that they have met.
No, he actually said the only report he gave was very simple. Yes, he has asked Ganiga, and Ganiga has given him back the message, take care, people, we are not interested in that. Full stop. this narrative about he's going to go and meet his people
is immaterial.
It's a new narrative.
So it's a lie.
Relevant.
It's a lie. I ask you Nyerhovwo and I ask you Oyeye. So that story that were told yesterday that the man said his ESCO refused, but he wants to go to his Ewu meeting to tell his Ewu people, it's a lie.
No, nobody is saying it's a lie, but it's diversionary. It's just a tactics to just keep people.
Never said it's a lie. I don't know.
Qualified what he said.
I don't know.
The reason that Sammy Riviere made it clear that he was not going back to them, he didn't ask for a time frame, is because as far as he was concerned,
it's a dead rubber.
Was drawn.
Yes.
Thank you.
He had been told what he needed to hear. And he was reporting it back to the community. And Sylvester, you are also failing in one thing.
You see, Nero, it was my turn to speak. No, it was my turn to speak. You have interjected.
Okay, gentlemen, we need to calm down.
You have interjected. You don't do that. When you were speaking, I kept quiet.
Sylvester, hold on for me, please. Please, gentlemen, let's try to keep this thing as civil as possible. We cannot be interrupting each other because we are having an intellectual argument here. Let's because we said 3 minutes so that everybody can have the opportunity to respond. So please, let's just let Sylvester land, and then we can interpose or just oppose. What English am I going to speak then?
How long?
I'm sure he has used 2 minutes already, but let him land. Yes, please.
If you did not interject, I would have finished my
Yes,
email.
please.
All I want to say to you is this. What I heard yesterday is what I've said. If at the meeting yesterday you stood up to say what Riviere has said, put a lie to it, there may be people that responded yesterday. All I have to say to you is this. From what I heard yesterday, my opinion is this. I think we could have done a bit more. One, we could have waited for them to have their meeting in June. Next month, isn't it? Because they don't finish till August. They could have had a meeting in June. Sammy Riviere and whoever could have gone to Ganiga. We're meeting and wrong. You have consulted your union. No. What have they said? If they say, people say, they could not go. We are not interested. Then that responsibly will say, look, the man has spoken to his ESCO said no. The man has spoken to his a village meeting, they have said no. So we carry on. I don't think in that instance we would have had any. So mine is just about the rigorousness. I repeat, the rigorousness of the process. To me, it's not been completed. That's all.
Okay. Let me just
quickly ask Sylvester a question.
Okay.
The decision to set up a leader committee by the Urhobo community has affected. Is going to affect. Do you think is affecting their meeting that's going to hold on the 4th of June?
Yes, sir.
The outcome of their meeting?
Yes, and I will tell you why. You asked me a question, can I answer it?
Yes.
You asked me a question, can I answer it?
Yeah,
I will tell you, yes, it will affect them because they will say anyway, they have decided what to do. What's the point in the reconciliation? That means the reconciliation the whole time was just a route. They are at liberty to say that, and who is going to blame them? When you never give them the chance to have the conversation at their village meeting.
In your mind of mind, do you think they were actually engaged in the process at the onset?
I'll tell you something. For somebody who was secretary or who is secretary to USCS, right, sent from Nigeria with letters, and the process I went through with them, I can tell you that you cannot judge a book by the cover of his by its cover. Because this process has been ongoing. On the other side, I've said things to us as well. It's everything you put down when we're doing the process. But I will leave those. All I'm saying, we should have been very rigorous. That you've not answered the questions, Sylvester. You've not answered the questions. The question I'm asking you is, were they negotiating in good faith? Yes, that's my opinion. You can't. That is my opinion.
Let me just ask Sylvester a question. Please,
I don't know. So
one question, Sylvester.
Why is it jamboree?
One question, Sylvester. Just one question, Sylvester.
Yes.
Please, can you ask? Mejero was expressing something. Please give her the opportunity.
Okay.
Let it not be a dialogue with Sylvester. I think we all have other opinions.
Yes.
No, but we have to go back to Sylvester because you cannot judge a book by its cover. But what do you want us to judge by now? Because we have to go by what we see.
Thank you, Mejero. That's a very fair question. Absolutely. What do you see here? Your preconception does not have to mean is correct. neither does it mean it's right. We don't know.
I just want to ask one question.
No, but
ask me a question now. Let somebody answer now.
Answer.
I'm not the one talking.
No, that was me. That was me.
Sorry, Nero. Sorry. The question she asked is a very clear question. And I say, I'm not in their mind. But what would be best has been to nail it by June 4th. Nails to the cross.
I Sylvester, funny enough,
yes.
I agree with you because I think we made a decision and we were maybe just a little bit rash in making that decision. We made the right decision, but I don't see
hold on.
T's and dotted all the I's correctly. But we've made the decision and everybody, supported that decision.
No, not everybody. I didn't support you. About 9%.
But we got by majority.
Okay, hold on.
Tyranny.
Let me just ask a question. Hold on.
Hold on.
Let me just ask one question, please. Wow, Robo. This has gotten really, really interesting. Let's watch out for part 2 of this particular episode. Stay tuned, but thank you very much for listening, and we'll be back in a couple of days' time. Thank you.